And just like at the end of every week, we're going to enjoy the story of Israeli wineries with ILTV's Wine of the Week. And for this week's wine, we're focusing on the Jezreel Winery. The Jezreel Winery was established in 2012 with a clear vision to make truly Israeli wine, matching the Israeli climate, the Israeli palate, and the Israeli spirit. Situated in the Jezreel Valley in Kibbutz Hanaton, the winery focuses on grapes and wines such as Syrah, Carignan, and Argaman, as well as others. All wines especially suited for the unique Mediterranean climate and the land of Israel. Today, the winery produces some 90,000 bottles per year. And so, joining us now with more is the founder of Jezreel Winery, Jacob Ner David. Thanks, Jacob, for joining us. What is your pick of the wine of the week?
Yeah, so I brought with us Argaman, which is a varietal which is only grown here in Israel and was actually produced and innovated here in Israel in the late 70s. It's our flagship wine, and last year was the highest rated wine in the decanter wine competition with 96 points. So I'll just give you a little bit, and we'll say l'chaim. And the most important thing, especially for television to see, is the deep, deep coloring of the Argaman, which is why it's called Argaman, kind of like a crimson. And it's a varietal which is uniquely designed for hot weather. Yeah, of course. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen. I don't drink much wine, as you can tell. What can you tell us about the winery itself, the process of making this amazing wine?
Sure. Well, we started the winery back in 2012, and when we said we're going to be making Argaman, people didn't know what we were talking about, because even though it's been around for a long time, very few people were focused on this grape and really bringing it to the world. We've been focused on it since then, along with Syrah and Carignan, as you mentioned. We started off making 15,000 bottles, and now we make 100,000 bottles a year, and thank God selling them. So,
this is a dry wine, am I right?
It's a dry wine. I joke around that it's a wet dry wine, but yeah, it's a dry wine. And this is aged for about 18 months in French oak barrels, and the grapes come from a vineyard just near Givat Nili, just north of Binyamina, in that area. So it's a very hot climate, but it gets a lot of coastal winds. We're a small country, so we still get a lot of coastal winds to there.
So these are all local?
Very, very local. Argaman has not yet been planted outside of Israel. So if you're looking for a wine which speaks Israel, Argaman is a great example. And thank God people love it.
And is it gaining a lot of popularity among the...
Definitely gaining a lot of popularity. As mentioned, this wine we submitted to the Decanter Wine Competition in 2022. It was rated 96 points for the 2017 vintage, and was the highest rated Israeli wine in this global wine competition last year. So definitely gaining a lot of validation from outside Israel, from inside Israel. We couldn't ask for more.
And wines and grapes that really existed as far back as biblical times, are we drinking a wine that's of similar taste to what they drank?
Well, you know, you Google what was the wine that Jesus drank, and you'll get many, many, many answers. We don't really know. We know that Israel was the winemaking capital of the world towards the end of Second Temple times. When the Romans came in, the first thing they did was take over the wine industry and export Israeli wine all over the world. So we're going back to our roots, is what we're doing, along with lots of other wonderful boutique wineries here in Israel.
What other wines do you have other than Argaman?
So we have Syrah, Carignan, and then many different blends of those three varieties. And on the white side, we have Sauvignon Blanc, Gewurz. We make a very nice rosé, and we invite everybody to come to the winery and enjoy it.
What is your most popular wine today?
I think our most popular wine today is a blend called Alpha, which has Argaman in it, Syrah and Argaman, with a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon to give people some familiarity. We sell a lot of Alpha all around the world today, in the United States, here in Israel. That's our most popular wine today.
What do you suggest for people like me that don't drink a lot of wine?
I would say start with the Alpha and work your way up to a full Argaman.
Thanks so much for being with us today.
Sure.